It's preparing to live stream on YouTube. I want to make sure it starts there before I... It's preparing to live stream on YouTube. I want to make sure it starts there. Okay, great. So we are on YouTube now. Let's get the Facebook Live going. Okay, welcome everyone who's joining here for this Facebook Live on PNF stretching. PNF stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, and that's a fancy schmancy word to describe a facilitating of a muscle to lengthen so it can allow a longer muscle. It's to support a stretch. So what happens on a neuromuscular level with PNF stretching is through something called autogenic inhibition. It inhibits the protective response that keeps a muscle from lengthening. My fingers here represent the myofibrils on a microscopic level in a muscle, and they need to chemically relax. That is, there's a chemical process that needs to happen. So some of the things that support that are warmth, deep relaxation, a relaxed mindset, which goes with the state of neurological safety. Neurological safety is a mode that our autonomic nervous systems go into and allow our body to function at its best and our minds to function at their best. And when we have unresolved trauma held in the body as tension, because when we experience trauma and it's not resolved, the body tenses to prepare for and protect us in a survival state. So PNF stretching, as Ellie's going to help me demonstrate here, is a way of releasing tension from the muscles so that instead of the body continuing to get that response of cueing tension, that is the body getting the message through tension that it needs to stay in survival mode. Instead, we're going to cue the body to release that tension so that the body can recognize more and more that it can go into safety mode, which allows all the restorative processes of the body and the mind to work better. So we're going to start here with a basic hamstring PNF stretch. Go ahead and straighten out your legs here, Ellie. Thank you. All right. I'm going to have her be completely passive and relax her body here. And we actually practiced this a couple minutes ago. So she's already practiced on your right leg. Is that what we did?
Yeah.
We did the right leg. Okay. So we're going to see what the range of motion is for the right leg. Go ahead and totally relax. Let me hold it. There we go. Okay. Once you reach, feel a little resistance. Do you feel any resistance there? Okay, so notice the angle here, the angle of the leg to the floor, and say that's a little bit more than 45 degrees. All right, let's check your left leg and see if there's any discrepancy there. Move nice and slow, totally relaxed. Let me hold it. And yep, we didn't stretch this one yet. So you can see there's a slightly smaller angle here, more like 40 degrees. Rather than the 45 to 50 we saw on the other side. Okay, so why don't we start with this one, since we haven't done this one yet. All right, so in order to trigger that autogenic inhibition in the muscles, that is facilitating the nervous system to let go of the muscles, we're going to first hold this about 10 seconds, passive, totally relax, right? We've been there about 10 seconds. I want you to take deep breaths. Deep inhale, nice, long, comfortable exhale. Good. And now I want you to take another breath in. Hold your breath and now push your leg down into the ground. A little harder. Good. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now exhale, relax. Cool. And just notice, does that feel comfortable now in this increased stretch?
Yes.
Very cool. So we got about 5 degrees there. Not bad. Okay. So this is the basic PNF technique. However, there are other ways of doing the PNF technique. Another is to use the opposite muscle group, the quad and the hip flexor, to go into the stretch. Okay, by triggering the opposite muscle contraction, we can get a little bit more release here. So go ahead and take a deep breath in. Hold your breath and now lift your leg. Try to lift it off my hand and keep your knee straight. So she's using the quad and the hip flexor, working pretty hard. 3, 2, 1, that's 6 seconds. Exhale, relax. Good. Okay, notice I didn't move it anymore. Okay, when we do the opposite muscle contraction, we don't want to increase the stretch anymore here. So now go ahead and take a deep breath in. Hold your breath and claw your heel down, harder, down into my hand. Bend the knee a little bit. That way we get both aspects of the hamstring. 2, 1, exhale, relax. Cool. Comfortable there?
Oh, yes.
Yeah? Okay, cool. So as you can see, we got another 3, 4 degrees there. Not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're working directly in the sagittal plane as far as where we're moving the leg here. Let's go ahead and move through the transverse plane a little bit. Get some different angles. That hamstring, notice where the tension starts. You feel that right about there?
Mm-hmm.
So the inner thigh pulling, we haven't directly stretched that one yet. And then as we go, get the lengthened hamstring across the other direction. Okay, you're starting to feel a stretch on the outside of that hip. We haven't stretched that directly yet. But what we're doing here is we're making sure that we're getting different angles of this stretch so that we get more of the muscle fibers in the hamstring to be stimulated. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go through full range of motion where we shorten and lengthen, totally relax. Let me hold it for you. There you go. So part of the process of cultivating safety in the body, you need a sense of trust, right? And there are varying levels of that. Ellie trusts me. However, there's an unconscious process where sometimes we try and control the movement, right? So you started to move it for me when you could figure out where I was going, right? Right? And the more you can relax, the more you'll get that signal in your body to let it stay relaxed. Now, that's not to say you're doing anything wrong. She isn't. In fact, she's allowing her body to protect her because the body thinks, well, if I control the motion, then I'll make sure that it doesn't go into a dangerous place, right? So it takes a little bit of conscious direction to say, okay, relax, relax. I trust, I allow, I am just going to receive, right? And continue to breathe. That's another thing that happens when we're doing something new. Our breath will often stop, right? Because the body's going, hey, wait, what is this? And it pauses as if to evaluate the scenario, the scene, the environment. Okay, so notice what you're feeling in your body right now. Feel the difference between your left leg that we just stretched and your right leg. What are you feeling right now? Sensations?
I feel more relaxed on my left side.
Any other sensations like tingling, temperature?
I feel like more here in my hip, more like a tingle sensation, and
Tingling? Okay.
yes, and more like a warmer.
Warmer. Okay. Just in the front of the hip here? Anything behind?
Here and a little bit like on my calf, like there.
Your calf down there. Okay, got it. Okay, great.
Like there, I feel the tension.
Okay, cool. So let's revisit that movement of the hamstring. Let me go ahead and take the weight of your leg and just going to stay passive and let me know when you feel any tension again. Okay. So that's about where we left off when we finished the stretch before. That's great. So the body's maintaining that length. That's good. All right, let's check your right leg again and see if there's any discrepancy. Right about there? Okay. So there's a little bit more range of motion here in the right. It's very slight. It's a degree or 2, maybe 3. Okay, cool. All right, since we already did the right leg and the left leg, now we're going to do a slightly more complex PNF stretch. So this is 2 muscles, opposite muscles that we're going to stretch at the same time on different legs. So it's a little bit more involved. So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch your right glute. So as I push the knee toward the chest, the flexion of that hip, it's going to stretch the back of that right leg, the hip a little bit into the hamstring. And the front of your right hip flexor and quad, okay? So I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. Totally relax this leg, breathe. Deep inhale. Long exhale, good. Just trying to help her relax a little bit. A little bit of movement here can help that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start the stretch. Let me know as soon as you feel any tension behind that left leg. Right there? Okay, any in the front of the right hip? Not yet? Okay. Now? Okay. So I put a little bit more pressure on this bottom leg. Okay, so what I want you to do now is take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax. Just getting used to this. About 10 seconds hanging out here. We're almost there. This is the pre-stretch. Good. All right. So on this next one, what I want you to do is take a deep breath in. Hold your breath, and while you're holding it, push into my chest and lift this leg at the same time, like you're scissoring your legs together. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, relax. About 6 seconds. A little bit more range of motion there. Good. Not a whole lot. That's good. This is a different dynamic here. So take a deep breath in. Hold your breath, and I want you to pull your knee toward your chest, toward you. Yep, and this leg down. Pulling them apart. 4, 5, 6. Exhale, relax. Good. We didn't go any deeper, but we just activated the opposite muscle group. Breathe in. Hold your breath and kick toward me and lift. Scissoring your legs together. Hold. 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, relax. All right. Deep breaths, relaxing, getting used to this new leg. Is comfortable? Okay, so another way we can ensure that she is comfortable with how far I'm going, rather than me just feeling the tension levels. I've been doing this 26 years, but I want to make sure that you feel safe and you know I'm following your cues, right? So on the next one, I'm going to have you use a hand cue. So as I'm going into the stretch, you go like this as it's feeling good. And as soon as you want me to stop, you turn your hand and say, you can either say stop, you can just use the hand, whichever you like. Okay. So while we're here, let's reinforce that relaxation response with that spitball breath. Belly in as you exhale. Go ahead. Belly. Good. And stretch just slightly. Just getting used to this. Breathe. Keep breathing. Good. Keep in. Long out. Breathe. Good. Okay. Slightly different angles. Rotating. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to go to the other side. All right. So just notice first how it feels. The back of your left hip there, your glute, and the front of your right thigh. Just notice the sensations there.
So at first I feel like so light in my left. It's very, very light. Like a lot of the tension before that I had, like I was feeling a lot of stiffness. Yeah. It's not there anymore. I feel like more light in my left side of
left side in general, only the back or the whole thing?
The whole.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Cool. So sometimes what will happen is when you stretch one side and you do it effectively, there's this mirror effect in the left and the right brain. The right side of the brain controls the left side controls the right side, and so on. Sometimes the body will start to compensate and release. So even though we just worked on the back of her right hip, she's feeling it in the front as well, releasing, because we released the front of the left. Right? Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and do the other side. All right, so remember the hand signals. I want you to have your hand up here. Okay. So this is stop, this is continue, okay. Right? And so it'll be self-explanatory when we get there. Totally relax your leg. And this one, okay. So I'm gonna go, and you use the hand signals, let me know. Good, okay, so that's enough for this glute, your right glute. And then your left hip flexor. Any stretch in the front of that hip there? A little more. A little more? Yep. Right there. Thank you. Good hand signal. All right, good. All right, take a deep breath in. Exhale, relax. So this 10-second pre-stretch. Doing great, keep breathing. And go ahead and take a deep breath in. Hold your breath, kick toward my chest, and lift this leg at the same time. Scissoring your legs together. 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, relax. Use your hand signal. That's it?
I feel like I can go more.
A little more? Yeah. Right there. Okay, great. Good. Cool. Keep breathing. Continuously breathing cues the body that it's safe. So as you allow the breath to continue, that's important to let your body know that it's okay. That's what that flowing of breath in and out does. Okay. It's okay. New things will often have us unconsciously stop our breath. That's great. All right, take a deep breath in. Hold your breath in into the stretch, knee toward your chest, pull toward you, pull this leg down, hard. 4, 5, 6, exhale, release. Good. Not going any deeper on this one. That's the opposite muscle group contraction. Deep breath in. Hold your breath, push toward me on my chest, lift this leg, scissor together, hold. 3, 4, 5, 6, exhale, release. Right there.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'll back up a little bit. Is that?
You know.
I did, but I wanted to make sure they can see the hand signals. Okay, good, nice. Takes practice. We're doing teamwork here. High five. All right. So deep breaths, and I want you to spitball breath to the ceiling. And totally relax. Breathe. Good. Good. All right. And let's just gently go back and forth with this leg and this one. Getting different angles of that stretch, the hip flexor and the glute. Okay. Now just notice what you're feeling in your body. Any changes? Physical sensory words.
I just feel like my blood goes around my legs.
Yeah, you can feel the blood flow.
I can feel it yes, like my blood flow.
So what sensations let you know the blood's flowing? Does it feel like energy movement? Does it feel like temperature change, pressure, or relaxation?
The temperature change, I can feel now cooler, actually.
Cooler. What parts are cooler?
It's like all around, like everywhere, like in my legs.
Mm-hmm.
More, I feel it like on the bottom of my legs, like on my feet on top, and then all around my ankle, and like I feel like one pulling sensation. I can feel the energy.
Excellent. So she's describing it as energy movement and a change in temperature. Any way that you describe the physical sensations that you're feeling when you're doing processes like these, it helps to lower the stress load. Why? Because when you focus on your sensations in the present moment, what that does is it uses more lateralized brain circuits. They get more active, and the stress response gradually goes down and down and down. It's a gradual process, but it supports it every time you are present, focusing on your sensations here and now. When you're in your head and you're not focused on your body, let's say focusing on the past or the future or working out a problem, right? That type of focus uses the activation of the centralized circuits in the brain, the default mode network. And when those circuits are active, stress load is gradually going up. It's not anything extreme or drastic, but the longer you spend in your head, disconnected from your body, the higher your stress load goes, and therefore the higher your tension load goes. Okay. And when your body holds more tension, it reinforces that it needs to stay in survival. So if you want to release those survival-based symptoms, let's say you're experiencing anxiety, depression, challenges with your sleep, digestion, sexuality, your energy levels are too high or too low, like hyperactive, or you just don't want to get up and move around. If your emotions are dysregulated, these are all signs your body's in a survival response. We need to release the tension held in the body and let the body, so that we can let the body know that it can be in safety mode. Okay. PNF stretching is just one way of doing that. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. There are so many more stretches that we can do. And actually, after we finish this live and I turn it off, we'll continue. But feel free to reach out. And I am contemplating putting together a workshop for couples where you can come in and learn to stretch one another. Not only will that help each person cue safety through relaxation as you get the muscles to relax, and it could be a helpful cool down after you finish a workout together, perhaps. But the exchange that happens of body language as you're taking in their communication and you're communicating with the other person, right? This exchange of body language reinforces something called co-regulation, which is the most powerful way to regulate the nervous system. Safe, attuned interactions. And if you can even make it playful, that's even better. But thank you for joining, everyone who's watched this, or if you're watching the recording, thank you, Ellie, for being the demo here.
You're very welcome.
and I'll talk to y'all later. Cheers.
You know what?
So it's still going on my YouTube here, and I don't really know how to stop it. Give me a moment here. I paused it here, but I just want to make sure that it actually stops here. There it is. Okay, cool. All right. Thanks everyone who's joined on this YouTube live. And by all means, reach out if you have any questions. You can either leave them in the comments or you're welcome to email me at holisticfitnesslifestyle@gmail.com.